Okay, go ahead.
Is it ready?
Yep, I think so.
All right, welcome everybody. So we just got some breaking news out of Social Security, and I'm going to say this much. It's probably not the best news in the whole world, okay? In fact, in my honest opinion, this is actually probably pretty bad news. So either way, I want to bring this to your attention right away. This was literally just announced out of Social Security like, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. I've been digging through the information as closely as I can here, finding everything for you. It's a press release that was just released on the Social Security website. I will put the link for the press release down below in the description when I'm done with this live stream here, so you can read it for yourself. I don't have it down there yet. This is still just like right hot off the wire here. And wow, okay, I did not see this one coming, being fair with you, okay? But this one was just announced out of the Social Security. This is honestly not good for a lot of people. And okay, I see comments sometimes down below that say, oh, you're just spreading fear and stuff like that. No, I'm trying to keep you informed of what's going on so you know what's going on with your benefit. I mean, this year's been nuts. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. What other words I can use to describe this year? Chaotic, wild, nuts, uncertain, frustrating, annoying, all the things, right? Yeah. But anyway, okay, so let me tell you what just happened and the announcement that came out of Social Security. Again, yes, this is a real thing. Press release right out of Social Security. Statements from the acting commissioner, Leland Dudek, just made some statements on this. Okay, so let me bring up to speed on what happened here, okay? So let's just take a step back to last year really, really fast, okay? I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this as far as what happened last year, but let me tell you one of the changes, okay? So last year, under the previous or the former Social Security Commissioner, Martin O'Malley, what they did is they had this change that came in that basically said they were no longer going to be extracting overpayments at a 100% rate, okay? So do you remember the old rule, which was basically if somebody was overpaid as a retirement, SSDI, SSI, you know, any kind of beneficiary from Social Security, their benefits were garnished at 100% until the money was paid back. Not a good situation, right? So unfortunately, we heard all these stories last year where people were going homeless and literally couldn't eat and all these different things. It was a really bad situation. There was a lot of stories on this. There were news stories on this. They even covered this on 60 Minutes even. They had a 60-minute segment talking about this. It was a really, really big deal. But anyway, so what they did within Social Security is they rolled that back. So they took it from 100% down to 10% or $10, whatever was greater. Okay, this was under the former Social Security Commissioner, Martin O'Malley, last year. I talked about it a ton at the time. A really good thing. So then worst case scenario, somebody who had an overpayment, and again, the tough part is none of us really know who's going to get it next. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, any of us could be overpaid right now and may not even know that. That's the really tough part. We might be thinking we're getting all of our benefit. We might be getting overpaid and we don't even know that. And we could be getting one of those dreaded overpayment letters at some point from Social Security. Okay. That's all I'm saying is we got to be very aware of this. Okay. But anyway, so they rolled it back from 100% down to 10% or $10, whatever is greater. Okay. Until now, literally, they just announced this and they flipped the script on us, okay? Let me tell you, and again, you might be thinking, no, I'm good. I'm not getting overpaid. You don't know that. You honestly do not know that, okay? I'm just saying, I'm not here to scare anybody, but rather I want to tell you this because when we get these overpayment letters, which unfortunately about 2 million of us this year are going to get overpayment letters from Social Security. It's happening. They send out about 2 million of these things every single year. And unfortunately, there will be millions of people this year that get these overpayment letters and they probably don't even know what's coming quite yet. Okay, so here's what happened. By the way, still very, very hot off the wire. This is just coming across from Social Security right now, okay? I will put the press release from Social Security down below in the description when I'm done with this live stream. In fact, when I get done sharing with you all the details here, I literally have it pulled up on my phone. Actually, you can probably see it right there. It's literally the press release from Social Security right there. When I get into the chat, I will put it down, the link into the chat when I get there. Okay, so just give me a couple minutes to cover this, and I'll put the link for the press release in the chat when I get there. Okay, give me a couple minutes. But anyway, so here's what happened. They flipped it back to 100%. Okay, 100%. So it's no longer going to be the 10% or $10, whatever is greater. They're going to flip it back to 100%. Okay, this is really, really, really bad for a lot of people going forward. Now, let me clear the air on this, okay? There's a lot of moving parts here. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so like I'm in this situation, I got an overpayment letter, last week, last month, last year, whatever. Does that mean they're going to take all my benefit? No. Reason being is, okay, no right now, but in a couple of weeks here, then the answer is yes, okay? Just let me tell you the details. So here's what it comes into. Somebody who has received an overpayment and has been overpaid by Social Security for however long now is grandfathered in until March 27th, okay? March 27th. What day of the week is that? Good question. Honestly, I'm not sure. It might be a Friday. I think it might be a Friday. I'm not sure what day of the week March 27th is. I could be wrong on that, but I'm anticipating it's a Friday. But anyway, up until March 27th, if you got an overpayment and if they are currently garnishing either 10% or $10, you're grandfathered in, okay? Until after March 27th, here's what happens. It goes to 100%. So anybody that's getting overpayment letters and has received one recently, we're grandfathered in still at the current pace of $10 or 10% in that situation. But starting March 27th, or after March 27th, I should say, it goes back to 100% garnishment, okay? So let's just say this much. If any of us are being overpaid right now, let's just cross our fingers that that letter arrives and we get that notice before the end of this month, essentially. Otherwise, it's going to be really bad, really bad. They're going to garnish up to 100% of our benefit. Okay, so that's the situation going forward, okay? So just please be aware of this, that when they roll this back, it's no longer going to be, hey, sorry, we overpaid you by $5,000 over the last 5 years. We didn't know it. And now we're going to pay just a little bit every single month until we get that money back. Nope, not anymore. After, again, March 27th, I want to make it very clear, after March 27th, then it goes back up to 100% until they are fully, I'm not sure I'm saying that wrong. How am I full? Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to say some word that I apparently can't figure out how to say. This is like a super easy word. Sorry. I don't know why I can't see that right now. Until they why can't I say that? Okay, anyway, we're going to skip that word. I can't figure out how to say it for some reason. Until they actually recover all that money. There you go. Recover. I'll say that word instead. Apparently I can say that one today. Until they recover all the money that has been overpaid to a beneficiary. Now, obviously, yes, you can. You can repeal it. You can put in, an appeal and say, no. For multiple reasons, you didn't overpay me, or I can't afford to pay that back, or whatever the situation is. And remember, last year as well, the Social Security Administration also, with all the different changes that they came out with, basically they took the blame for it. Remember this? So previously the blame was put on the beneficiary. Remember that? The old rule was basically all the blame goes on the beneficiary. They point the finger right at us and be like, it's your fault. You didn't tell us something. And then they changed the rule and said, no, we're actually going to take the blame for it and act like we knew everything, but we just still overpaid them, and it's our fault, not the beneficiary's fault. Well, is that also going to be rolled back, or are they still going to be taking the blame for it, but still saying, sorry, got to pay up? Now, here's what they've also anticipated, according to these numbers here. This will bring in $7 billion in the next 10 years that they're going to take from us. Yes, take from us in the form of clawbacks, whatever. But I guess, if it is something that's being overpaid, getting that money back is the responsibility of Social Security. Now, I've made this point before in other videos. It is the fiduciary responsibility of Social Security to get money back when overpaid. That is their responsibility. Now, remember this much as well. Social Security is a steward of your money, okay? I know a lot of people are like, oh, no, it's just a program that gets all this money and, whatever. It's your money. Where'd they get it from? They got it from you, out of your payroll taxes for all the years that you were paying in through, years and years and years, decades and decades of working, paying in through your Social Security payroll taxes. You had no say. You could not do anything about it. They took it from you automatically, right? That's no shock. We all know that. Right? But then they're the steward of your money. They're holding it. They're the responsible party for that money until they redistribute it to you in the form of benefits. Whether it happens to be retirement benefits, SSDI benefits, if someone happens to become disabled at some point, spousal, survivors, even SSI benefit. That's a little bit different, has a little bit of a different category, but kind of the same thing, right? Either way, It's our money that we've paid in through tax revenues, and they're the steward of it until they give it back through monthly payments at some point through the rest of our lives, right? But anyway, the law says the fiduciary responsibility of Social Security is to reimburse or basically get back money that is overpaid to beneficiaries, or basically that goes out wrongly. It's their responsibility to get that money back because it's our money. As the steward of that money, they have to work to get that money back. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule where they can say, you know, if you have all these different legitimate reasons, you can actually file an appeal if you do get an overpayment letter and say, no, absolutely not. And you can go through the appeal process and you can get it waived. You can. I'm not sure if they're going to make that harder either, right? Last year, they made it a little bit easier to file these appeals and get them waived as well. Again, I wouldn't be shocked, considering that they're doing this, would not be shocked one bit to see them roll that back as well. But this literally just came out. So anyway, let's continue to watch this. Wow. Is this something we really needed right now with all of this uncertainty, with all of this madness going on, with everything around Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, everything? Did we really need this announcement right now? I'm going to say this much. Not a fan at all. Okay. All right. Now, one more thing. SSI beneficiaries, okay? SSI specifically, supplemental security income. I want to emphasize SSI, not other benefits. They've clearly identified that these individuals will still be at the 10% reclaim amount, okay? So if you are overpaid as an SSI beneficiary, supplemental security income beneficiary, they will still only claw back 10%. They will not go 100% on SSI. According to the press release here, they're still going to stick at 10% for SSI, okay? Just want to make that very clear, not to be mistaken with SSDI. Sounds like if you're an SSDI beneficiary and you're overpaid, looks like they're coming for you, okay? I'm not here to scare anybody. I'm literally here to give you the information that was just released out of the press release from Social Security. And again, why we need to watch this very closely is that some of us right here, right now, may be getting overpaid. As I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, some of us may be getting overpaid right now, and we don't even know it. We don't even know it until we get an overpayment letter from Social Security and saying, hey, sorry, we overpaid you X number of dollars over the last 5 months, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it happens to be. This is a major problem, which, by the way, I've seen multiple different reports out there, but just in the last handful of years, I think it's like from 2015 until 2022, it was like a 7-year period of time. They overpaid $23 billion in benefits to beneficiaries. It's a lot of money that's overpaid in total over the course of, I don't remember the exact time frame on this, but it's many years, a couple decades, in fact. Their overpayment is $72 billion that they've overpaid beneficiaries. So this is a major problem. Now, if you saw some of the reporting that came in on this last year, I covered some of it at the time. It was a major, major news story. And I wouldn't be shocked if this turns into another major, major news story out there. But they were highlighting and they were showing and telling stories of people that were getting overpayment letters of like $20,000, $25,000, $50,000, $60,000, right? And they're like, you've got 60 days to pay it. Are you kidding me? Really? So they overpay a beneficiary for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, something like that. And they overpay them all this money over that amount of time. And then they send a letter and say, you need to pay us back in 30 days. Really? I mean, that's seriously, that's the situation. So, oh man, this is going to be a big one. Okay. This is going to be a big one. This is ugly. This is not what we wanted to hear right now. And again, sorry, not trying to be the guy that just brings you bad news, but this is literally what is coming out of Social Security right now. Okay. So, just want to bring you the update on this. This is what we know as of now. Wouldn't be shocked one bit if they roll back some of those other provisions that were released last year. Again, protecting beneficiaries, making it easier to file an appeal. Oh man, I just can't even imagine. Last year, honestly, there were multiple different announcements out of Social Security. I thought a lot of them were pretty good. Most of these announcements that came out of Social Security last year were mostly focused on SSDI and SSI. Not all of them, but there were a number of them that were actually very good for these beneficiaries. I wouldn't be shocked if they start rolling some of these back. Again, not a good situation. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the chat here. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm streaming a little bit differently today. I'm kind of on a little bit of a different setup here. I'm not sure how it's going to appear on my side. I will do my best to get into the chat right now and answer your questions. I'll do what I possibly can. Oh, I have the link here for the press release. I will stick it down below in the chat box. So give me a minute on that, and you can read the press release right for yourself, right out of Social Security. That literally just hit the wire like 15 minutes before I started this live stream. Okay. Anyway, let me get into the chat here. It's going to take me a minute to pull this up. I'll do what I can to answer your questions for you. And wow. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to grab, how do I do this? Okay, so I'm copying the link for the press release right now. So when I get into the chat in a minute here, I'll put the link for the press release into the chat, and you can check that out if you want. I'm just going to scan through it really, really fast here to see if I missed anything. I think I hit all the points on it, but let me just check it really quickly again. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay, perfect. I forgot this one point here. One point that I missed, otherwise I got everything else, which is starting March 27th, they will start mailing overpayment notices and basically saying, yep, 100%. Okay, yep, that's what I missed there, but I apologize. That was the only thing I missed about this. Other than that, I shared with you all the details about this, which, by the way, if you're just jumping on now, some pretty big news out of Social Security just moments ago, just like literally not that many minutes ago. And they're rolling back one of the big policies that was changed last year on overpayments, and it's not good for the beneficiaries. Yeah, I'll highlight that here more in just a second. Let me go through this letter just a second more here. Correct. Yes, people who are overpaid. I said this earlier, but let me emphasize this again. It just says right here on the letter. Again, I just want to throw this out there. Anybody who is identified as overpaid after March 27th of this year will then go back to the 100% recovery rate. Can I say recovery? Is that the right word? Recovery, deduction, clawback rate. Yeah, so anybody that gets overpaid after March 27th is going to lose 100% of their benefit until that overpayment is recovered. That's rough. That's really, really rough right there. Okay. So like I said earlier, if any of us are being overpaid right now, let's just cross our fingers that that sucker comes in before the end of this month. Otherwise, it's going to be bad, right? Because if it comes in before the end of the month, and again, I hope that nobody's getting overpaid right now, but unfortunately, that would be ignorant of me to think, because we all know that about 2 million people out there are getting these letters every single year. So if we're getting overpaid, please send us the letter now, inform us now, so that at least we're locked in at either 10% or $10, whatever is greater, right? Rather than the 100%, which would be really bad for a lot of people. All right, so anyway, how do I get into this? Okay, so I'm going to get into the chat now. And again, I have the link for the press release. I'll stick it down below in the chat. In just a second here, I'll stick it down below. So give me a second. I'm kind of slow. Let's see how this looks. Oh, here we go. And again, the live stream is a little bit different for me here. So just hang on, trying to figure this out on the fly here. Okay. Okay, here we go. In the chat, here comes the link for the press release. All right, there we go. In the chat, you should see a link. That is the link for the press release out of the Social Security website. If you want to see exactly what I'm talking about here, you can reference that link. It is right there in the chat for you, okay? And by the way, I'll put that in the description of this live stream here as well. When I'm totally done with this, I will put the link in the description, and you can check it out as there. And yeah, there you go. Yeah, play to win 1958. I see you there. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Yeah, nice to see you. Nice. Ellen Newth is saying, you get paid so little, no possible way that you could be overpaid. You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked, really. Again, I'm not saying that you are or you're not. I'm just saying we got to be vigilant of this. Okay. Yep. Yeah, Papa Smurf, nice. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. The real Virgo queen. I like it. I like it. Nice Virgo. I like it. Yep. Face the sky. Face the sky. You said my son got a check. Should I cash it? From Social Security? I mean, you could. I mean, I don't want to advise you what to do here, but if you got a check from Social Security, I mean, like, you probably want to cash it, right? you may want to do that. I don't know. I guess if I were in that situation, getting a check from Social Security, I wouldn't really want to sit around on it forever. I guess I'd want to take that thing. But yeah. And again, yes, Social Security is still sending out those big lump sum payments. In fact, I made a community post today where I took a screenshot right off the Social Security X page, and I posted that in a community post and said, look, here you go. For anybody questioning that video from earlier today, every single day since last Thursday. So what? 7 days now. Yeah, for 7 days now, starting last Thursday until now, excluding the weekend, they have been sending out these huge lump sum payments for hundreds of thousands of people. Like today, I think it was like 354,000 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 300 something thousand people that got these huge lump sum payments. And it was something like, I don't know, a few $1 billion that went out. So yes, they are still doing this and will be until all of that money goes out. Yep. Nancy Thompson, I see you there. Thanks for watching, Nancy. Nice to see you. Is it Shaz Place? SHA apostrophe S Place? Hey, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about an announcement that just came out of Social Security just a little while before I started this live stream here. And basically, they're rolling back the recovery rates of overpayments. So if somebody is overpaid by Social Security, they're basically rolling that back to 100%. In other words, they're going to take 100% of somebody's benefit after, if they were overpaid after March 27th of this year. Okay, so it's going to be rough, but somebody that is already being overpaid or that is already acknowledged overpayment will be basically locked in at the 10% or $10, whatever is greater from last year as those rules change. So yeah, wow. Kevin Gallagher is saying, is this from Elon? I'm going to be honest with you. I did not see anything that said it was directly from Elon. Okay. I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's from Elon. I don't know that. Okay. I did not see any direct information saying that Elon is behind this. I don't know about that. We just got the announcement out of the Social Security Acting Commissioner, Leland Dudek. Basically, he made this announcement, and this is what it is. Okay. It's from the Social Security press release that was just released this afternoon here. Again, like 15 minutes before I started this live stream, it hit the wire, and I jumped on this live stream right after I kind of dug through all the information and found everything I needed to know. I jumped on the live stream. So I did not see anything specifically pointing to Elon, but, you know, I don't know. Imaginator. Hey, Imaginator. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, nice to have you here. Yeah, Furry Plants and Coins, I think it is. I love your name, by the way. Very cool. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Car wash channel. What do you mean by SS flipped? That's literally what I'm talking about here in the video. They flipped the script on the rule that changed last year on clawbacks of overpayments. Yeah, I talked about that like the first, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 minutes of this live stream, however long it was. I explained all the details there and exactly what just came out of Social Security moments ago. Yep. Yeah, Joni Filia. Hey, yeah, I see your comment there. Thanks for watching. Nice to have you here. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, everybody. Melissa Moss, is this for SSDI? Yep, SSI is within this, okay? Now, I want to make it very clear. I hope you've been watching since the beginning, Melissa Moss, and everybody else who's wondering about this, okay? I'm just going to say this much, okay? I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, but I have this strange assumption that, well, strange feeling that sometimes when somebody like clicks on my video, any video, again, fill in the blank with any video, maybe there isn't any, maybe a whole lot of the video isn't being watched, and then assumptions are being made in the comment section. I see that hundreds of times a day. Just saying, okay? I'm just saying. I hope you've been watching since the beginning of the video, because when I say SSDI is included, yes, is included on this, but does that mean like, good or bad, or what am I talking about? Well, it's exactly what I talked about since the beginning of the video, right? So, yeah. Shell Balestra, hey, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Nice to have you here, Shell. Yeah, Carrie Doyle. Carrie Doyle is very excited that other people have been waiting will also be getting their payments. Yeah, I'm assuming that you're talking about the big lump sum payments out of Social Security for the retroactive payments because of the WEP and the GPO that were repealed back on January 5th of this year with the new Social Security Fairness Act. Yeah, pretty awesome, right? That's very cool. Which, by the way, if you're just jumping on right now, that's not what this video is about. But yes, that's very cool. Yep. Furry Plants and Coins saying that's not the press release. The link I put in there? What did I do then? Let me try again. Let's try again. Okay. Let me try again. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to put the link back in there again. I just grabbed it again, so that should have been it, but let's try again. Here we go. Okay, here it is. Down below in the chat, I just put the link for the press release. That's it. So yeah, check that one out. Sorry about that. If I put the wrong link in, I apologize. Certainly didn't mean to do that on purpose. But here you go. In the chat right now is the link for the press release. If you want to see it right on the Social Security website, and literally everything I'm talking about here in this live stream, you can read it right from right for yourself, right from the horse's mouth, called Social Security, right? Okay, so you can read it right there if you want to. But I covered all the details about this, and again, this was just released just a little while before I started this live stream. Melissa Bell is saying, what about SSDI? Again, I just answered this for Melissa Moss. Yes, SSDI also falls into this category, but again, Melissa Bell, I hope you've been watching since the beginning of the video here to understand what I'm talking about, because I think sometimes there's assumptions when I say, yep, SSDI is included. I think some people jump to conclusions as far as what that means. So again, just make that very clear. Julie Justice, yes, confirming that is the correct link. Awesome. Great. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Julie, for confirming. I appreciate that. Yeah, Imaginator, I see you there as well. Exactly. Again, when it comes down to the Doge dividend, yeah, Imaginator is saying no stimulus check until 2026. Again, that's with the Doge dividend plan, but I've been reading things. Again, I haven't made any videos about it because there's just no point yet, but I've been reading things saying it could be coming sooner than that. Let's just keep an eye on it, okay? I'm just saying, just translating information, but yes, Imaginator, you're 100% correct. The plan as of right now would be next year. It's a long time from now. Yep. Yeah, Robert Merrill, is it? Robert Merrill. Hey, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Takama. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. But yeah, basically you're saying if Social Security is overpaying people, kind of their fault, right? Like, hey, you're the one that did it. Like, why is the beneficiary being punished, right? Now, here's the thing. If somebody's being overpaid and they realize it, I can totally understand adjusting the benefit to make the benefit what it's supposed to be, extracting the overpayment. But to come back with a huge letter and be like, hey, you owe us, these thousands of dollars for these 5 years or 7 years or 10 years of overpayment. I don't know. Something about that seems like pretty rough, right? I mean, that seems pretty heartless to do that to somebody for all these years that this is happening to be like, well, we've overpaid you $300 a month for the last 10 years, and now you owe us these tens of thousands of dollars. That's a tough situation. Yeah. Yeah, Mary, I agree with you as well. Basically, saying the same thing there. Social Security is kind of in the wrong when they overpay somebody and then come back and say, hey, we need all that money back. Yep. Edward, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Nice. Linda Proffinger. Yeah. Good question. You said, I've been getting Social Security retirement since I turned 62. You're 76 now. So you've been getting it for 14 years. Yep. Awesome. That's really cool. And you said, does this affect me? It kind of depends, right? The reason that I say it kind of depends is because if you happen to be one of the roughly 2 million people that get overpaid by Social Security every single year, then I would say, yeah, unfortunately, that would impact you. But let's just cross your fingers that you're not one of them. Let's just honestly hope that nobody here in this community is ever overpaid by Social Security. And I know it sounds weird, like, but wait, don't we want an overpayment? Won't that be like free extra money? Yeah, for a little while until they find out, and then they come back and they say, hey, give us that money back, right? So that would not be a good situation. So it really depends. And again, for me to sit here and say like, oh, it's going to impact, Linda and John and Mary and Tom and, these 17 people over here, we don't know that. That's the problem, is we don't know who the unfortunate people are that are going to be receiving these overpayment letters. All we know is that statistically, they send out roughly 2 million-ish of these letters a year. That's the thing. Nobody knows who they are, right? Nobody knows who's going to be getting one of these letters until we get it. And like I said at the beginning of the video as well, a lot of times we could be getting paid and not even knowing that we're getting overpaid. We don't even know it. A lot of the times that somebody's getting overpaid until they get the letter and they're like, wait, what? I had no idea that I was being overpaid for all these years. No idea. How was I supposed to know? Right? So that's kind of the tough part about it. Mini snacks. Mini snacks. I love it. Mini snacks 21. Very nice. I like the name. That's very gets me thinking a little bit, right? But anyway, I like it. Thank you so much for the nice message. That's very kind of you. Glad that you enjoy the videos. Thank you. You're very nice. Yeah, Pamela K Design. Pamela K Design is saying, I don't think Elon would do this. Again, I did not see any indication anywhere that the finger's being pointed at Elon for this. I don't see that anywhere, that Elon is the one to be blaming for this. I'm just being real with you, okay? I'm not trying to stick up for Elon. I'm just saying I have not seen any word anywhere that he was the one behind this. Okay, just want to be fair. Cookie Swikert, is it? Hey, Cookie, nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us. So I've been talking about what Social Security flipped the script on, which is how they handle the overpayments. Okay, so last year they rolled back the overpayments. Do you remember this? It was actually pretty big, and honestly, it was really good for a lot of people. But they send out, I just said this a couple minutes ago, which is they send out about 2 million overpayments a year to, letters, I should say, to beneficiaries and say, hey, sorry, we've been overpaying you. You owe us all this money back. And as of right now, just in the last 7 years or so, actually it was 2015 to 2022, $23 billion in overpayments went out from Social Security. Okay, well, they want that money back. And over the course of a couple of decades here, again, I don't remember the exact time frame, but it's about $72 billion that has been overpaid to beneficiaries. So again, they want the money back, right? Well, the situation is last year, they rolled back the overpayment from basically, hey, if we overpay you, we're only going to take $10 or 10% of your benefit, whatever's greater, rather than 100% of your benefit. They're rolling that back. So rather than taking 10% or $10, whatever's greater, they're going back to 100%. This is not going to be good for a lot of people, right? This is not going to be good. And again, I said this at the beginning of the live stream. I apologize. I'm not trying to be like here telling people bad news. I'm not trying to be the guy that's like, whoa, welcome to Friday. Here's some bad news to go into the weekend, right? I'm not trying to be that guy, but this is the announcement right out of Social Security. And this literally was the press release that I'm talking about here just moments before I started the live stream. This is exactly what they announced. Okay, so I'm just literally translating information. That's what I'm doing. Okay, which by the way, I put the link for the press release into the chat, maybe, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 minutes ago, something like that. So it's there somewhere. And when I get done with this live stream, I'll put the link for the press release into the description of this video. So stay tuned for that when we get done with this, but kind of wanted to hang out with you for a while here in the chat and just kind of answer questions, do what I ever I can for you. Wow, this is interesting. Okay. By the way, I don't want to sit here and be like, well, hooray for me, I called it. I'm not that type of person. I mean, seriously, if anybody knows me, like, I'm really not. I am very much a don't give me credit for any type of person. Okay. I literally never look for credit on anything. In fact, I look for reasons not to give me credit on stuff. But anyway, it's just like, it goes back to my, younger years when I was, I don't know. Anyway, I'm still kind of damaged. Just let's say that, okay? I'm still trying to work through things in my life. But anyway, the situation is last year, I was calling this. I kept saying it over and over and over many months last year, the last, handful of the year, whatever. I was like, get ready. 2025 is going to be absolutely nuts. There's going to be a lot of big things happening. There's just going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to be honest with you. It's way more crazy than I thought it was going to be. This is like way beyond the expectations that I had. I thought it was going to be like pretty eventful. Like, wow, this is getting kind of weird. I did not think it was going to be like this. And here's the thing. We're still in March. I mean, today's only March 7th. We're only a week into March. We've got like 10 months to go, right? My point is, it's going to get really crazy. If you think this is wild so far, just wait and see. Wow, it's just going to be really, really nuts here. Yeah, Pamela Skagg, I see you there. Thanks for watching, Pamela. Nice to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Avis, awesome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, you said you can call Social Security and they will call you back. Yeah, that's nice. Will it be the same day or will it be like the next day, a month later? Like, when will they call you back, right? Obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but you get my point, right? It just takes a very long time usually. Blessed slots. I like it. Blessed slots. So like blessing the slots when you put your quarters in or whatever. I'm guessing that's what that is referring to. I like it, right? That's awesome. Yeah, thanks for being here. Furry Plants and Coins is saying, how can they do that if you're reporting your income? They can, right? I mean, here's the thing. They're doing their best to distribute proper payments to all beneficiaries, but just because they're trying does not mean that they're always accurate, right? And that's the tough part about this is that they do their very best. And for the most part, they do a very good job sending out payments on time every single month, month after month, year after year for millions and millions and millions of people and about 11,000 people a day that are becoming eligible for benefits. It's a lot of work, right? I mean, they got a lot on their plate. But unfortunately, just like everything, there's going to be mistakes at times. And that's the problem is that sometimes they make mistakes. Maybe there's different mistakes within the calculations or the formulas for specific beneficiaries, or maybe somebody's work record is not accurate. And as a result, they're getting a wrong benefit, right? So there are reasons why this could happen. But when it does, it's not good for the beneficiary. Roberto, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a nice day. Happy Friday. Thanks, Roberto. Gloria Singleton. Wow. Gloria Singleton, thank you for sharing that. That's a nuts story right there. Yeah, I hope you're doing okay, but it sounds like looks like everything's all squared off with that. I hope so. Yeah, that doesn't sound like you want to do that again. Yeah, Gloria Singleton, thank you for sharing that. Yep. Yeah, WV Hillbilly. I like it. I always love your name. Thank you. Nice to see you again, by the way. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you're saying looks like they're about to rob Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, pretty much, right? Peter being the beneficiary, Paul being Social Security. That's basically what it is, right? Yeah, that's how it's going these days. Yep, I'm seeing some comments, people here reaching out saying, I got my March payment, but they're not counting on next month. I know that there's a lot of talk out there. I know there's a lot of people that are really, really rattling the cage on this whole thing. I know that there's some, people out there that are saying, oh, they're not coming. The whole program's going to break down and stuff like that. I would not say that. In fact, I've been taking the other side of that and saying, no, I really don't think that's going to happen. There's just no way. If we look at this logically, the biggest federal program out there, the biggest, Social Security is the biggest program in this country, right? 72.5 million plus people, over $1.5 trillion a year, over $100 billion a month that goes out to these people. It's been around for almost 90 years. I have a really hard time thinking that this program is just going to go away one day. It's just not. It's way too big. Yeah, I don't think they could possibly let that happen, right? So anyway, only time will tell. Again, I've been saying that way too much this year. We've got to wait and see because it's such a weird time. And I know I say that all the time, but did anybody expect this announcement to come out? Did anybody expect all these other announcements to come out over the last month? Not really, right? Yep. Yeah, Desert 67. I like it. Desert 67, which, by the way, did you ever used to play the game? I think it was Desert Storm. Do you remember that? I don't remember what gaming system was that. I don't remember, but I used to play that as a kid. Pretty cool stuff, right? Yeah, that was awesome. Video games. Oh, those were kind of fun back in the day. But anyway, good question. You're asking, how can you explain how somebody may get overpaid? Really good question. I actually mentioned this just a couple minutes ago here, but there's a variety of reasons. Again, it could be maybe some kind of miscalculation within the formula for some specific person. Maybe their work record is wrong, which again, that could be very easily done where somebody's work record doesn't accurately represent, their actual time spent working and how much they paid into Social Security, things like that. Maybe it's just some kind of mistake within Social Security where they meant to give somebody $1,280 a month, but rather than giving them $1,820 a month. You know what I mean? Just simple things like that. Mistakes happen when they're using or when they're going through the volume of people that they are. Okay, when they're going through the volume of people, new applicants, new beneficiaries, existing beneficiaries, at the volume that they are, there's bound to be mistakes, right? Nothing like this is going to be perfect. But their level of error payments, as in wrong payments going out, is very, very minimal. They, for the most part, they get just about every payment right. But again, because of the volume, the sheer volume of people, there's always going to be some mistakes, right? Just kind of like everything. There's always going to be mistakes. There's always going to be some kind of error. There's always going to be some kind of deviation from the mean, things like that. And again, just kind of building in the kind of the rate in which mistakes happen. So again, to put it in perspective, just to say this, I find it to be super fascinating. Over 72.5 million beneficiaries. You've heard me say that tons of times. 11,000 people a day are becoming eligible for benefits. Not only that, there's also on the other side, right? People that are no longer eligible for benefits because they may pass away or something, right? So you've got a lot of people coming in the door and going out the door literally every single day, every single month. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this 11,000 people a day statistic goes all the way through the end of 2027. So we've got like multiple years of like a huge, huge, huge number of people that are becoming eligible for this. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And that's just retirees. That's not even including SSDI, new SSI applicants, all the things like that. So yeah, we're talking massive volume here. Nice. Sharon Taylor. Hey, Sharon Taylor. Nice to have you here. Thanks for watching. Happy Friday. Yeah, Charlene Reynolds. Charlene Reynolds. Hey, nice to see you here. Thanks for watching. Happy Friday. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go back down to the bottom of the chat here. Again, sorry, I'm kind of getting, trying to do my best here to keep up with the comments. I know there's a lot rolling in right now. A lot of people are wondering what's going on. By the way, if you're just jumping on right now, I would say a couple of different things. Number one, go back to the beginning of the live stream, watch the first 10, 12, 15 minutes maybe until I get into the chat. I shared everything there as far as what's going on and the announcement that was just released out of Social Security, the press release that was just announced. I would say check that out. The first 10, 15 minutes of this live stream, you can do that. Honestly, all the time that I spend in the chat, you really don't need to watch that. I'm just being fair with you. You can if you want to, but you definitely don't need to. I covered all the details in the first 10-ish minutes or so. However, I'll give you a quick little recap. Okay, so here's what happened. Well, should I give a recap? I'll do it really fast here. By the way, when I get done with this live stream here, I will put the link for the press release out of Social Security down below in the description of this live stream. So when this live stream is over, give me 20 minutes for it to go up and everything like that. And then once it's up, I will put the link in the description. So just give me a little bit of time and then I can do that for you. Or when I get done explaining this here in just a second, I will grab the link again and I'll put it into the description, or I should say the chat of this live stream here, so you can see it there. So just give me a couple minutes. But basically what happens is this. Social Security is reinstating the 100% clawback for anybody who is overpaid by Social Security. And again, this is the tough part because we don't know who's being overpaid. That's the hard thing. We don't have a list in front of our face right now that says, here's the 2 million people that are being overpaid this year. We don't know who that list is. That's the part, is that any of us at any given point could be getting a letter from Social Security and you open it up and you think, oh, wow, they sent me a check. And then you open it and realize, oh, wait, it's actually a letter that says, I'm sorry, we've overpaid you by some huge amount of money, thousands of dollars or something crazy. And now we want that money back and we're giving you 30 days to do it. Okay. So what happened last year is that they rolled this back. So it was 100%. The garnishment of overpayments to beneficiaries was 100%. Okay. And then last year in 2024, they came in and said, no, that's too much. Too many people are, not able to eat. People are getting kicked out of their places. People are living in their cars. They're becoming homeless. It's a really bad situation. We're going to reduce that down to either 10% or $10, whatever is greater. Okay. Well, that's what it was until today. We just got this announcement out of the Social Security Administration, and the acting commissioner, Leland Dudek, was out with an announcement. And again, I'll put the link for the press release in the description of this live stream and down below in the chat here in just a minute when I get done describing this here. But basically they said, we're reinstating the 100% deduction or clawback in the event that somebody is overpaid by Social Security. And again, this applies across the board to all benefits by Social Security, except for one, SSI. SSI is still going to remain at 10%, okay? SSI, supplemental security income, will remain at the 10% level, whereas everybody else goes to 100%. So if any of us outside of SSI beneficiaries are being overpaid by Social Security after March 27th of this year, so March 27th, today's the 7th, so in 20 days after March 27th, if anybody is given an overpayment notice at that point, after March 27th, it'll then be 100% deduction until they claw back the overpayment amount. That's ugly. That's ugly, right? That's a lot of money. So just to put it into perspective, to put some easy math and numbers behind this, and again, I know you know math. I'm just going to give you a super easy example here. Let's just say that they've been overpaying somebody for 5 years of however many dollars, okay? They've overpaid them by $10,000. And again, this is just an example I'm giving here. They overpay them by $10,000. This person is getting a $1,000 monthly benefit. At the 100% rate, obviously, they would garnish that person's benefit, all $1,000 of it, for an entire 10 months to get that $10,000 back, okay? That's rough. So this person now has to survive on what? Probably nothing. I mean, seriously, that is a really ugly situation. So when they rolled this back last year and said either 10% or $10, this was a massive relief for a lot of people. In the same example that I'm giving here, if that same person would have gotten that letter last year or right now, between now and March 27th, it would still be 10% or $10. Well, in this example, 10% of $1,000 would be $100. Now the person still gets to live on $900. It's going to be rough. It's going to be ugly. It's not going to be very fun, but it's certainly better than 100% gone, right? You see that understanding there? So obviously, I know you understand basic math here, but I wanted to run some numbers on that really faster just to kind of illustrate, like, this is an ugly situation. A lot of people are really, really going to suffer from this, and it's not going to be good at all, right? Okay. I hope that explained it. If not, let me know. I can try to explain that further. And again, to reiterate, SSI beneficiaries, supplemental security income will remain at a 10% deduction in the event that somebody receiving SSI is overpaid. Okay. So in the event somebody's getting, overpaid or whatever, and they're getting the maximum benefit for an individual of $967, the maximum they could take would be $96. Okay. The reason being is 10% of 967 is 96. It's technically $96.70, but you get the point. $96. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to grab the link for the press release really fast here, and I'll put it back down below in the chat of the live stream here, so you can look for it yourself. And you can see literally the press release right out of Social Security just like 15 minutes before I started the live stream here. It was released. Okay. Let me grab it. That's going to take me a second here. I have it right here. Yep, March 7th. This is it. For immediate release, it says. Oops. Copy. Okay, here we are. Here we go. All right, coming in hot. Here it comes. Here comes the link in the chat. You'll see a link there. That is the press release from Social Security, again, that I'm talking about here in this video. If you want to read it, there you go. Otherwise, that link will also be in the description of the live stream here. Once I wrap this whole thing up, I'll put it there for you. Okay. Oh, wow. What an interesting year. What an interesting year, right? Wow. This is getting crazy. Now, what's going to top this whole thing off, right? A big old recession, right? Throw a recession into the mix, which honestly, I really think it's coming. Okay, just get ready, buckle up for this sucker. It's gonna get ugly real fast here. And again, it's not me trying to scare anybody, not trying to scare anybody at all. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get you prepared. But here's the cool thing about a recession. Again, I'm just going to take like 1 minute about talking about this. The cool thing about a recession is they scramble, and every single time that there's a recession, okay, go back in history and look it up. The last 3 major recessions we've seen in the last 25 years. In 2000, 2001, the dot-com bubble, 2008, 2009, the subprime bust, 2020, 2021, the whole lockdown situation. What did they do? They passed massive, massive, massive stimulus packages for the time. They pushed out stimulus checks every single time. Look it up if you don't believe me. So that's the good thing about a recession. It's going to reset a lot of different things, and ultimately we'll probably get a little chump change out of it called a stimulus check. Okay, I'm just saying. Let's just see what happens here. Which, by the way, last night I posted a video talking about how the president may potentially be intentionally pushing us into a recession. And again, I'm not taking political sides here whatsoever. I'm saying it may actually be a very good strategy on his part right now. And I explained the details in that video last night. I talked through the details about that. It would honestly not be the worst thing right now if he purposely did that. And I know it sounds super weird. Like, I can't believe you'd say that. I think it's a strategy. I honestly believe that may be the strategy that's going on right now based on what's happening, because it's really going to fix a lot of stuff. If we go into a recession, it's going to fix a lot of things that we're dealing with right now. The affordability crisis that we're all dealing with, that's all going to be fixed with a recession. Wouldn't be bad. Okay. Anyway, we can talk about that in a separate video. Okay. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on that. That's not what this video is about, but check out the video from last night. I actually thought it was pretty interesting. Yeah, I thought so anyway. Where is it? Kit Kat. Kit Kat is in the chat. Kit Kat is in the chat. I love it. That's awesome. Kit Kat is saying hi, Corey. Awesome. Corey must be in the chat. That's awesome. Lupe, awesome. Hey, Lupe, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yep. Ellen Newth and Corey saying hi to each other. That's very cool. Virginia Queen. Awesome. Thanks for being here, Virginia Queen. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yep. Exactly. Sandra Keller, I see you there as well. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Thanks, Sandra. Nancy Thompson, hello. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Road dog. You live in a van down by the river. Awesome. All right. That's cool. Yeah, Kit Kat, you're very welcome. Kit Kat, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Which, by the way, yeah, Kit Kat, thank you. I really appreciate you. It's always really nice to see you. Hey, Road Dog, do you do any fishing in the river? I mean, I'm not sure if you really live by the river, but if you do, you ever throw a line in and just see what you can kind of catch out of there? I don't know. Yeah, kind of cool. Nice. N by Northwest. Hey, first off, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you said a couple years back your friend got an overpayment letter. I'm sure your friend was scrambling around thinking, oh no, please don't do this to me. This is not a good time. And then they got another letter saying, just kidding, don't pay us back. That's like sweet, right? Yeah, that's very cool. That does not happen very often at all, by the way. Lizeth is saying this is nothing new. Okay, it actually is brand new. Yep, sure is brand new. Just released out of Social Security and literally just announced like 15 minutes before I started this live stream. So yeah, it is actually brand new. Buddy Russ. Hey, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Buddy Russ, happy Friday. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Ellen Newth, exactly. If it's Social Security's fault and their responsibility, why don't they take the blame for it? Exactly. There was a rule that was put in place last year that they did. I'm not sure if they're going to repeal that as well. I wouldn't be shocked one bit if they roll that back too and say, oh, no, it's no longer going to be our fault. It's going to be everybody else's fault. I don't know. They haven't rolled that back yet, but maybe. Missy Lou Smith, exactly. Yep. You can certainly get an overpayment letter. Exactly. And that's the thing, like I've said a couple times in this live stream here, which is we don't know. Any of us could be getting overpaid right now, and we may not even know. That's the hard part about it, is that we feel like, no, we're getting the right amount. This is my monthly benefit. That's what we think until we get an overpayment letter. And remember, they can overpay a beneficiary for years and years and years before they catch it. It's not like one thing where they send one check and they're like, whoops, sorry, we overpaid you by $20. No, this goes on for years and decades in some cases. Sometimes it takes a very long time, like so long that it's like, are you kidding me? Can they really like go back 20 years? Can they really do that? But they do. Yeah. Helen Christian. Hello. Yeah, Helen Christian. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Thanks for watching. Yep, Imaginator. I see you there again. Thank you. Road Dog. Yeah, Road Dog. Thanks, Road Dog. Shell Balestra. Hey, Shell Balestra. Happy Friday to you too. Thank you. Yes. Gamilio Santano. Hello. Nice to see you as always. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, my friend. You're awesome. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Pamela K Design. They need money, so they're like taking it back from beneficiaries. That's kind of like the thing that's going on right now, right? They're hard up for cash. Where can we get it? Where can we get it? Oh, let's get it back from the beneficiaries, right? Let's pay them and let's pretend like we overpaid them and get it all back. I don't know. Kind of seems a little fishy, right? Yeah. Joe Minnick. Hey, awesome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, Joe. Yeah, Mo. Thanks for being here, Joe. Smock. Yeah, is it Deanne Smock? Deanne Smock, yeah, you're basically saying Social Security's magic word is, oh, we don't make mistakes. Yeah, right, they don't. Yeah, right, they don't. Is maybe like 2 years ago, something like that, give or take a little bit, maybe like 2 years ago, I called Social Security about a little issue that was going on, and I called them 3 times, talked to 3 different representatives, and guess what? I got 3 totally different answers. 3 totally different answers. I was like, how can this possibly, like, how can this be a thing, right? And the answers I got contradicted even in some cases. It's like, this is nuts. What's the right answer here? So, yeah, anyway, I found it out myself. Exactly. Imaginator trying to live on less than $1,000 a month. Yeah, unfortunately, that's rough, especially these days. Here's the thing: go back 5 or 6 years, living on $1,000 a month probably wasn't all like super hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still going to be a struggle, but like 5, 6 years ago, before everything went up 20, 25, 30, 35, 40% in price, you know, it was maybe a little bit doable then, but now not a chance. Yeah. Yeah, Lori Womble, hello, nice to see you. And hope you're doing well, Lori Womble. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Papa Smurf, hello, Papa Smurf. Thanks for being here as well. Really appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Yep, thank you. Yeah, Curtis GT, is that what it is? Curtis GTA. Yeah, I hope they don't touch my $967 SSI monthly benefit. Exactly. I totally agree with you, right? Yep, that's very important. No. Marcy, good question. You're saying, do you think they're going to end survivors benefits? No, I don't think so. Not a chance. I don't think that at all. No, I don't think survivors benefits are going anywhere. There was a proposal last year. I talked about it. It was quite a while ago. It kind of just disappeared. It was like a huge deal at the time. It was probably, oh man, was it maybe like 6 months ago or so, where they talked about changing spousal benefits in a huge way and kind of like rolling those back a little bit. That was kind of weird. And they just kind of went away. It was around for like a couple weeks, and then it was just like, oh, we forgot about it. So thankfully that just disappeared. Yeah, Kit Kat is asking, what about SSI retired individuals? Really good question. And again, all benefits are free game here when it comes down to these overpayments and the clawbacks on this. The only caveat with SSI benefits is that you're still capped at 10%. So if somebody receiving SSI is overpaid by Social Security, as they indicated in this press release here, they will still only recover, as in clawback, 10%. Okay. And again, don't get me wrong, I totally get it. A 10% reduction on SSI benefits would not be very good at all for any beneficiary. But if we look at the contrast, it's better than 100%, right? So that's the situation there. Okay. Trying to look at the bright side, the silver lining of kind of a difficult situation. Yeah, Paula Webb is saying, I didn't receive a March payment. Not sure what type of payment you're getting, but the payment schedule, with the exception of SSI beneficiaries and concurrent claims beneficiaries and people that are receiving benefits prior to May 1997, the payment schedule actually starts on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, the 12th, is when the payment schedule starts for the Wednesdays. Okay, the birthday schedule that I talk about in videos, it'll be the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. Those are the 3 dates in which like the vast majority of payments will be going out. Papa Smurf is from Mississippi. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Paula Webb is saying, I still haven't seen a raise, haven't seen a stimulus, and haven't seen the $5,000. Right, because none of those things are happening right now. None of them. I've made that very clear in my videos. Yep, I've clarified that very clearly in my videos. But no, the $5,000 Doge dividend has been floated. That idea came out like 2.5 weeks or so ago. I've talked about it. I've clarified exactly. In fact, was it yesterday? No, Wednesday, I think. Yeah, it was Wednesday. Wednesday morning, I released a video that said, "Are you included? Are you included?" And I literally clarified that right there in the video of who is included and who is not included in that. And wow, there was massive confusion in that video. I made it pretty clear. I don't know what the situation was, but yeah, that's not coming right now. Other stimulus, nope, not right now. And as far as raises to benefits as well, depends on the type of beneficiary. The vast majority of beneficiaries, no. Some beneficiaries, yes. Lump sum payments right now, yes, for about 3.2 million people. Raises to their monthly benefit checks right now, no. In April, yes. Okay, so it's a wild time we're living through right now. We've never, ever, well, that I know of anyway, in recent history, we've never seen this many changes within Social Security in this short amount of a time. Since the beginning of the year until now. I mean, literally 2 months. In literally 2 months, we've seen some huge changes to Social Security that we have not seen, again, in many years, at least since I've been following this stuff for many years now, every single day. Yeah. SR, I see your comment there. Thanks for the suggestion. I should do that. I think if I got into that right now, it might be a little bit long. You know what I mean? It might be a pretty long live stream, which obviously we don't want to be here forever. But yeah, good suggestion. I will write that down. But yeah, you're talking about a dedicated live stream talking about overpayments and exactly all the definitions and types of overpayments, things like that. Good suggestion, SR. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will certainly take note of that. Shirley Kirby. Hey, Shirley Kirby. Nice to see you as always. You're always so kind. I really appreciate your messages. Thank you, Shirley. You're very nice. DW Jones, Florida here. Awesome. Thanks for being here, DW Jones. Thanks for watching. Happy Friday in Florida. Awesome. Thank you. Nice. Awesome. Beverly, you're so kind. Thank you so much for the nice messages recently. I've been responding to some of them as well. I've seen in the chats on the videos. Thank you, Beverly. That's very kind of you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Sharon Taylor, I see you there as well. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Yeah, Nancy Thompson again. Nancy Thompson, thank you. Kim Keeler, I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with that. Yes, exactly. So Kim Keeler, right on. Thank you. Thanks for being here, Kim Keeler. Yeah, Kit Kat, you're very welcome. Yep, thank you. Appreciate it as well. Thanks for being here. Is it Carol Sharo? I think it is. Carol, hey, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Eddie Linker, I think it is. Yeah, thanks for being here as well. Eddie Linker, thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Pamela K Design. Wow, they garnished yours for 4 months. That's rough. That's 4 months. That's a very long time. We're trying to figure out what to do. That's tough. Yep, Pamela K Design. Nice. Robert Rose, you're very welcome. Thanks, Robert. I really appreciate the very nice message. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Robert. Shout out to you. Thank you. That's very nice. Christopher, I see you there. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. I apologize. But hey, Christopher, I see you there with your little smiley face. I appreciate it. Thank you. Nice. Paula Noble. Paula, thank you so much for the nice message. And again, thank you for all the messages lately on the videos. I appreciate it, Paula. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. Yeah, Paula's been leaving some really nice messages as well. Again, I know a lot of you leave really nice messages on the videos. Again, I appreciate it. Thank you. Amy is saying they took 100% of yours this month. That's odd. They shouldn't have done that. Again, I don't know your exact situation and why they did that, but the 100% doesn't go into effect until after March 27th of this year. So that's rough, Amy. Have you called them about that? You may want to call them if you haven't yet and just wonder, hey, what'd you do? Why'd you take 100%? That's interesting. I mean, obviously there's a variety of reasons why that could have happened, but that's tough. Yeah, Kenny Hutchins, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. S Hill is saying, come on, what's going on? Or come on, tell us what's happening, or whatever you said. Okay, so here's the situation. The way that I do live streams is that I spend the first like 10, 12, 15 minutes or so of the live stream talking about the subject matter. I share everything that I know, all the details about what's going on. I share it in the first like 10 to 15 minutes of the video. And then I get into the chat and we spend quite a bit of time in the chat answering questions and doing whatever I can. So I'm in the chat now. If you want to know the details of exactly what's going on here, I would say scroll the video back to the first like 10 minutes or so. Honestly, you don't even need to watch the first 10 minutes. Watch the first like 5 to 7 minutes and you'll probably get the gist of what I'm talking about, okay? That's what I'd say. So if you're just jumping on right now, I would say watch the first like 5, 7 minutes of this live stream. That's really honestly all you need to watch, okay? You don't have to watch the part of me sitting here in the chat going through questions and stuff like that. You can if you want to, but you certainly don't need to, okay? Just being fair with you, but it's an announcement out of Social Security that was just released like 15 minutes before I started the live stream, where basically they are reinstating the 100% clawback for overpayments of Social Security beneficiaries. Now, this was the old rule. This was the old rule of what it was for many years, many years. And then last year in 2024, they reduced it from 100% down to either 10% or $10, whatever is greater, okay? Until now, where they, oops, I just touched that. Until now, where they just announced today, the Social Security Administration released a press release, and the Social Security Commissioner, Leland Dudek, was announcing this as well. Stop it. Sorry, my phone was talking. Sorry, that's what I said stop it about. Okay. So anyway, they are reinstating the 100%. So any overpayments after March 27th of this year will then go back into the 100% reduction to benefits until overpayments are clawed back. That's rough. That's really, really rough. However, anybody that is currently dealing with an overpayment right now is grandfathered in at the 10% or the $10 right now, and you'll be grandfathered in provided we know about this and the overpayment notices and things like that have been acknowledged and things like that, basically between now and March 27th. After March 27th, any overpayments that are discovered at that time go into the queue for 100% reduction and 100% clawback. Does that make sense? Right? So I hope that makes sense. However, when it comes down to SSI beneficiaries, SSI, supplemental security income, not to be mistaken with other benefits, will still be locked in at 10%, okay? So even after the March 27th deadline here, even SSI will still be locked in at 10%, but everybody else is fair game for 100% deduction in the event of an overpayment. And now, like I said earlier, the problem with this is a lot of us are getting our benefit and thinking, I'm cool, I got my benefit. No worries, I'm not getting overpaid. We don't know that. That's the hard part, is that there are millions of people that are getting overpaid and we don't know it. We don't know until we get that dreaded letter from Social Security saying, we've overpaid you. And now it's in the amount of these thousands of dollars or whatever it happens to be. And now they want that money back. That's the problem, right? So it's one of these communication letters that Social Security sends out. And generally, they overpay for years. Usually the overpayments go out for years until they're discovered. And then the amount of money that they overpaid somebody generally needs to be paid back very quickly, like in 30 days is all they give somebody. So that's nuts, okay? So there were multiple other provisions that were brought in last year and changed on this, which let's hope that they don't roll those back. But this is a major one, and this is not going to be a good picture for a lot of people here. This is going to be an ugly situation for a lot of beneficiaries. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This is what happens here. And yeah, by the way, down below in the chat, I've put the link for the press release out of Social Security. And when I wrap this live stream up here shortly, I will take the link for the press release and I'll put it in the description of this video as well. So you can find it there. Give me like 20 minutes after the video or the live stream is over. It takes a little bit of time to upload until I can get in there and put it in. But once it's there, I'll put the link for the press release into the description of the video. And you can look at it there and see exactly what Social Security said literally this afternoon, just a short time ago. Okay. Anyway, I hope that helps to understand this. So yeah, wow. Let's leave it at that for now. Okay. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream, if anybody's still around that was joining me then, I'm doing the stream a little bit differently today, and it's not exactly accessible for me. So I'm gonna have my wife come in. Hopefully Corey's watching right now. Corey, this is your sign. Come on, come help me, please. Okay. So I'm telling Corey right now to please come help me with this. Hopefully she's watching and listening. But anyway, I need to have Corey, my wife, come in and stop this for me because honestly, I don't know how. I don't know how to stop this. We're streaming this a different way right now. So yeah, I'm going to sit here and keep talking to you until Story comes in and rescues me. Okay. Let's see. Whoops. Yeah, Doris, I see you there as well. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Doris. Hoping the price of gas would have gone down. It should. Oil prices went down significantly this week. So I know you probably don't care about oil prices, but oil prices, directly relate to and reflect the price of gas as well. Okay, good. Corey is coming. Whew. Yeah, Nancy Thompson. Yep, exactly. Okay, I think I answered a bunch of the questions. Again, if you're just joining us live right now, please watch the first 10, 15 minutes of this video and you'll see it all there. Yeah, thanks again for watching this. Really, really appreciate it. Please have a nice evening. Maybe I'll catch you again later. I can certainly come on another video or live stream and clarify this further. There's a lot of things going on. Please subscribe as well if you've not done so. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to have Corey shut this off for me. All right, enjoy, everybody. Thank you.